Hello there and welcome to another episode of Replay Roundup. This time I'm being joined by Iksta once again. Hello there, and we're going to take a look at a 277 replay. So Russian tier 10 Soviet heavy tank, or Soviet tier 10 heavy tank I guess. Pretty fast, sturdy turret, 490 alpha. What do you think we can expect from that one?
Oh, this is a tank that's very common on the competitive scene in skirmishes, advances, so on. So, I want to see some fast-paced, intense gameplay as I'd expect from a 277. A bit of zooming into position, high alpha shots, lots of big damage, but we'll have to see how this goes. And I believe our player here, let's head straight into battle. I believe our player Charo Barrow is going for 3 marks. So let's see how he does. We see he's actually carrying some HE rounds, which isn't very common in a lot of tanks nowadays, especially when you see someone going for 3 marks. You don't see him to carry too many HE rounds, but 3 is a respectable amount. 3 is what I'd go for. But the biggest shock to me is small repair kit and small first aid kit, and repair kit on 4, not on 5. When it's small, I don't know how I feel about that, but hey.
Yeah, when it's small, I mean, you want to normally have the small one on 5 just so with a quick dab of 5-5 you can get it back up. But yeah, let's go for this replay here. He does decide to immediately go towards that 1-2 line here, takes one shot by the Leo, and you can see him already looking up there where there's the Progetto already waiting for him. 45 seconds have passed, so let's see how many shots the Progetto managed to load. Also behind him, good awareness. There is a Reno Toronto coming, but now the allied Progetto is there to help against the enemy one, and it seems like the enemy now is on reload, and his own Progetto is now decided to take some shots and also go for a ram against the Reno. Not sure how I feel about that, but I think our hero here is going to feel great as he does pick up his first kill of the game here with the Rhino, and the 1-2 line now has been secured.
Indeed. Now, if the double Progettos from his team did not push across this top side and come join him, he might have been in a world of pain right now. But both Italian tier 10s on the enemy team are down, and now we see him place a wonderful cupola shot on a 60 TP. You don't see that too often in a 277 at this sort of range, but you love to see it when it happens. And now he more or less has uncontested domination and shots on the 60 TP and into the middle and onto the hill, which we see him do here. But never underestimate this position here and the ability to shoot people on the hill and in the middle if they don't pay you any attention. And of course, the 60 TP, realizing his lesson after that first shot, has decided to be very careful. There was a tree that just went down there from the EBR by the looks of it, and we see that this 277 player, Charo Barrow, is constantly keeping an eye out for those light tanks, but right now he decides to give one to the 60 TP. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite go through.
Yeah, that driver's hatch of the 60 TP is sometimes a mystery here. Now deciding to once again peek. The 60 TP doesn't want to take his chances here at the moment, and now we see him taking aim. Oh, the EBR almost caught the shot for the Monty there, but beautiful pickup. It's very important that you basically, when you go into those positions where you can support the hill, that you do it, because the hill on cliff, if you check also the map guides for it, is an absolutely crucial position on this map. So any kind of support that you can give to it is obviously huge, just like that 60 TP turret just flying straight off.
Indeed, a 1.5k damage for that. Thank you very much. We'll have that now. We did mention that he took out the Manticore. Unfortunately, the EBR on the enemy team did take out the friendly EBR, but now we see the EBR has decided to leave the hill, and a wonderfully timed shot there, waiting for the opportune moment, manages to put a shot into the EBR as he is dropping off the hill, which now gives the WZ-1321 uncontested control on the hill for now. But we do need to be mindful of the double tank destroyers chilling at the back. There's EBR, tries to go for a snapshot on it. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite connect. And of course, Charo Barrow does need to be mindful of the 2 tank destroyers chilling back here, the WZ-113 GFT and the Grill 15. If he peeks slightly more over here on his left, he risks getting shot by them, so he's using these rocks directly in front of him as cover. And now we see him realizing there's nobody on the hill, there's nobody in the middle to contest me. I can now freely peek this to look for the tank destroyers, and oh, looky, what have we found today? A treat for him indeed. The artillery chilling in the open, and we love to see that. We'll take 1 into there for 4, 5, 6. Hey, look, I can count. Wonderful damage on the GWE-100, and there is the other artillery. Unfortunately, he wanted to go for the damage there. You could see aiming for the full health artillery, but friendly artillery put a shot in first, so he decides to switch to the GWE-100. And now,
he did
more
get
or less,
the spotting
just
regardless.
Yeah, true. He
So
did get the spotting regardless. And there's the grill 15. Is he going to connect the shot? We shall have to wait and see. Honestly, if I had intuition, here's where I'd be switching to HE. But, you know, instead of waiting for the HE shell to load and risking missing your opportunity, you miss every shot you don't take. So he decides to take that AP round, and he manages to get a decent amount of damage off of it. And now he gets a bit greedy here, I think, for this E3. This is very risky. You could slip off and lose all your HP.
Here have
very...
led...
Yeah.
Those stones here have led to the demise of many people, but he does manage to sort of turn himself, or mostly his tank around, and now he's looking for more shots onto the Grille, or possibly will go towards the middle to farm the rest of the tanks that have managed to push around the hill. But I think the crossfire from the Leos right now is enough to keep them at bay. Nice shot into the Grille, only 93 damage, but hey, kill is a kill. So he's on 5 of those right now, and now you can see he is indeed turning around to deal with the 113 Beijing Opera, as well as the 780 and the WZ-113 GFT. And the 780 actually still pretty healthy. Both of the tanks in front of him taking a shot by the Leo respectively, though. So both of that Leo players actually making it pretty hard for the enemy to advance, as the WZ from the hill is able to pick one up. He does unfortunately miss a shot here, but yeah, he has already done a lot for his team to win the battle.
Indeed. Now you see that he's really like going for it. He wants this extra damage. He is going for the 3 marks. He's on 2 marks right now and is trying to get the 3rd. So we'll have to see how this goes. Slight nudge to the Leo there. Unfortunate turn of events, but I guess he wasn't ready for the Leo to stop right there. And now switching to the heat rounds because he doesn't want to risk ricocheting an AP round. Takes a hit from the 780 and is just sending it. He wants this damage. Will he get the damage? There's a ram for some extra damage for 321. Puts 521 into the 780. That's a beautiful high roll, by the way. And that is more or less game over. And while it's not the hugest of gameplay damage-wise, it was definitely one of the most influential matches we've seen one single player have on a game. Not only did he take mid control and put shots into the middle, he also helped secure the hill from a different location, and then also went to find the artillery so that the artillery couldn't do anything. So good play all in all. You know, he also got some good support from his Progetto 65s. He did indeed get the 3 mark. That was only a first class, unfortunately not an ace. He did get Demolition Expert for that beautiful, amazing shot on the 60 TP, probably the highlight of his game there. And he also got a high caliber, doing at least 20% of the total damage to the enemy vehicles. With 6.6k, he is 4k above anyone else on his team, more or less. With 5 kills, that's a third of the enemy team that he cleaned up there. And he even made a profit on that game, which you don't see that often while trying to 3 mark a tier 10. So fair play to Charo Barrow for that gameplay.
Alright, that wraps up this episode of Replay Roundup. We hope you enjoyed. If you did so, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel to not miss future episode. That was Iksta, I'm Keyhand, and I think that was quite enough from us, so see you next time.